Stitch friends, it's Mary the Daydream Stitcher. Thanks for coming by my video today. It is August the 26th to 2021. It's a Thursday, and if you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy my projects, and if you're returning, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for all the comments and interaction. I love it. That's what Flosstube is all about. So thank you. I will be announcing the giveaway winners this video. My last video I had 2 things to give away, and I did draw them this morning, so I will be announcing them in just a few minutes. But first, I want to show you my finish for this month, I guess it is, or this period. So I want to get to that, and then we'll get into the WIPs and new starts and all of that good stuff, and a little bit of haul. So stay tuned. So I do actually have a finish this week to show you. I've had 3 finishes in the last couple months. Who am I? That's not like me. If you watch me for any length of time, you know that I normally don't have finishes. So this is kind of a new thing for me, but I love it. And posting more regular on Flosstube has kind of inspired me to move along and get some finishes. They're not large finishes. Well, my mirror was, but this is what I have to show you. This time I finished my milk and cookies. This is by Spooky and Steve on Etsy, and it's done on a 32 count wickle linen in a mystery color. It's either like a storm or a rain, something in the title, that's all I know, which is a gray blue color. And I do plan to, is it crooked? I do plan to finish this on a mounted board, which will be my first time doing that, so I'm excited to try that. So hopefully next time I'll have that to show you. Okay, for my giveaway winners, I have 2 things to give away, and one is my Teresa Wentzler chart for Father Winter, and one is a $25 gift card to CrossStitchingSupplies.com, which I encourage all of you to go check out for your supplies. Full line of DMC, lots of patterns, charts, fabrics, so do check them out. I did a drawing this morning, and I'm going to post up here the comment that I photographed. I used the YouTube random comment generator to choose, and I had 16 comments for Father Winter, and the winner of that was Verpy R. Congratulations, Verpy. Verpy has followed me pretty much since the beginning for the last 6 years, and I appreciate you coming back again and again very much. So thank you for that. If you can contact me on Instagram at Daydream Stitcher, that's the best way to get a hold of me, or you can email me, and I will put that down below this time. What my email is, just put in the title that you won the giveaway, or Father Winter or Teresa Wentz or something, that I will notice that email, because I get a lot of spam email, as we all do, and it's easy to miss that. So hey guys, sorry for this intrusion of my blurry cell phone video, but I realized I'm in my boy's room editing the video for Flosstube, and I realized that when I announced the gift card winner, it is all garbled and weird on my video. I don't know what happened, but I apologize. So I am announcing the winner this way, to just insert, instead of setting everything back up again. The winner for the $25 gift card to Cross Stitch Supplies is Jacqueline Libfried. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Congratulations, Jacqueline. Again, you can contact me on Instagram. Why am I moving my head like this? At Daydream Stitcher, or you may email me at the address below and let me know that that's what it's for. It's an e-gift card. My kid's singing. I love it. And it will be to use on the website. So I won't be mailing anything physical, but I will email you the code to use on the website. So congratulations. Thank you for entering all. And I look forward to lots more giveaways in the future. So thank you all for joining the giveaway, for your comments, and Like I said, your interaction, your likes, your views, all of that. Thank you, everyone. I do have some things in store for giveaways that I will be planning coming up. So that will be happening one of these days, so stay tuned. Okay, so I realized that I was waiting for the plane to pass over. We have planes and trains and all sorts of things, even though we live out in the country. So I wanted to wait for that, so you hopefully didn't hear that. I had 4 new starts since my last video. Yikes, I know. But I'm excited about them. I only have 3 to show today because one of them is a really teensy start that's really not worth showing you, but I look forward to showing that to you next time. This is a picture of the new start that I don't have to show you my work because it's only a couple of stitches, but this is by Stitch It Picasso on Etsy, and I really thought this was a cool, different kind of looking picture. So I'm looking forward to pulling that out next time. For Cross Stitch Camp by Colorado Cross Stitcher, I chose Now Serving by, oh, the name escapes me right now, I'm sorry. I'm sure it's really obvious, but I don't plan these videos out very well. I mean, I sort of have it in my head what I want to show, but I don't write anything down and it shows. And so I need to start doing that. I pretty much just grab whenever I can to film a moment, and so I don't usually prep very well, so I apologize, but I will put that below who the designer is on Etsy. They have quite a lot of Lord of the Rings patterns on their site. And so this is where I've gotten on Now Serving, which is the Hobbit's sort of like meal plan for the day. And I am stitching this on 32 count shadow by Picture This Plus. This is with Saki thread. This is my first time using Saki. I've heard so many wonderful things about Saki and I'm sure it's great. I'm going to be completely honest and say that I don't, with this little bit, I don't really get the big deal. Like, I don't find it so much greater. I don't know, like maybe it's just because of the white on black. I don't feel like the stitches are real. I don't know if that's gonna focus for me, but they just look kind of, I don't know, like they're tighter, not tighter, but they're like, I don't know what the word is, but I just don't know that, like, I would always pull for the go for the Saki instead of my DMC. I love my DMC, and so far I don't get the hype, but I have yet to stitch with the other colors, so I know that white, even in DMC, white and black tends to be a little bit different than the colored threads, so I will definitely be giving, you know, a chance on the other Saki threads. So let me know what you think about Saki threads because I'd be interested to know your thoughts on it. I hear a lot of Flosstubers rave about them. So I'm sure they're awesome and I will continue to try using them. The next new start I have to show is this little house by Cottage Needleworks. Here's the completed thing. I absolutely love this so much. This is the September. And it stitches up really quick. I mean, I think this is maybe a total of an hour for me. I'm a slow stitcher anyway, but I love it. I love it. It's just adorable. I love to stitch houses. My very first cross stitch when I was 10 years old was a house, and I was actually going to grab it and show you guys the cross stitch, and I forgot, but next time I have this to show, I will show that cross stitch that I showed many years ago on my Flosstube. But I thought it'd be fun to pull it out again since I've got another house going. So I love this, and it's just stitching up just really cute and adorable, and so I'm really excited about getting that finished and making a flat fold. And I was able, we rearranged some furniture recently and I was able to get my front console table back, so I'm looking forward to decorating it like seasonally. So I was like, I gotta put on some seasonal cross stitch, which I don't really have a whole lot of, so that's gonna be my first piece for that, hopefully. Oh, and I meant to say with the Cross Stitch Camp Hobbit menu, obviously I'm not going to get that done by the end of the month, but I'm glad I got a start on it, and I'm looking forward to getting some more stitches in that, but that will definitely not be a finish this month. Then my fourth, I don't forget what order I'm going in, but I think it's my fourth start to show, is one that I started because of Chris Cross Stitch. It's all your fault, Chris. I blame you for this. I've had it in my stash for a long time, and I've seen a lot of people stitch it. It's a very popular piece, but when Chris started it, I thought, well, I'm gonna pull that out and get started on it and go along with him. And of course, I'm sure you better be watching him. If you're not, stop this video and go watch him instead. But he is working on it, and he's having this cute little sort of competition, just in fun, with Crafty Old Man UK on Instagram, who also has a Flosstube that I will put below. But they're kind of like racing each other fun. So I put my horse in the race too, and I'm not racing. I'm gonna come in last, that's fine. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'll show you where I am. I started this 2 weeks ago. Here's where I am on Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. I have a lot of the horse done. So I love stitching in that 310 black. I thought I would get bored of it, but actually so far I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of meditative to just stitch on the black and the grays, and I feel like I'm stitching in black and white. I haven't put any of the colors in. You know, there's greens and the moon behind, but so far I've just done the blacks and the grays, and I really like that black and white look. Speaking of Glendon Place, I've mentioned before that she lives in my area, and when I was looking at this chart, I realized that she put her address on the back of the chart. So of course I had to go look at where that was and Google Map it. And it turns out that she actually lives in the town next to me, or like in the town between where I used to live and where I live now. And actually her house is across from where I used to live. Like not literally like houses across, but there's a main road, which at that time when I lived there was 2-lane, but now I think it's 4 or 6 lane. They've widened it. But my subdivision was like over here, and then there was the main road, and then her subdivision was right across the street from that. I mean, I literally could have easily walked to it. So I was really excited about that. I love that. And now she has this brand new pattern out. I just saw on Garon Stitchery. I forget what it's called, but it's like a haunted pirate skeleton crew piece that's just adorable, and I gotta have it. So I'm getting that. I just ordered that from Garon as well. It's the new Needlework Expo release. So if you like Glendon Place, be sure to go check that new release out for this weekend, which I think starts, does it start this? It starts, I don't know if it starts tomorrow or Saturday, but it's definitely this weekend. And so your needle workshops are going to have a lot of new fun releases, and designers are coming out. Hands On Design has a lot of cute new ones, some Halloween and stitching related. And I also ordered one from Monticello Stitches, Be Nice or Leave, which I really liked. So that's exciting. Speaking of local designers and suppliers, Monticello Stitches, well, Jean, who is Monticello Stitches, mentioned on her last Flosstube that her Be Nice or Leave model is stitched on a fabric called Pink Sands from Tropical Stitches. And she mentioned her website. She's on Etsy, and she also has a website with beautiful fabrics. She's a fabric dyer. And I went and checked her out, and she lives local to me too. And so that was really exciting. So I look forward to ordering some things from her as well and checking those out, which I'll be sure to show. So those were my new starts since last time, and now I have some WIPs to show. And I'm going to try to make this fast because, again, I'm trying to squeeze this in between things, and my son has a cello lesson coming up in a few minutes, so I need to wrap this up quicker than I anticipated. So I do have some things to show you though. First, I worked on Halloween Quaker just a little bit. I really have to use my good light when I am stitching this because it's on 40 count, so I really have to make sure that I see that. But I did work on, I finished the spider wreath. I think last time I hadn't quite finished it, and I finished that. That was really all I got done on this period. This ghost, by the way, it doesn't show up well. My fabric is, picture this plus pewter. which is a lighter fabric than the model stitched on. But then I thought, you know what, ghosts aren't supposed to show up well, right? They're supposed to be kind of like, sort of, well, ghostly, that you can kind of see through. So I guess that's not that big a deal if it sort of comes and goes. Speaking of Otlight, some of you may remember I've mentioned this before, but I actually knew Mr. Ott. He was, speaking of local, he actually lived down here and had retired down here, and I actually took care of him in his last couple years of life. And at that time I was cross-stitching a lot, but I didn't know about the Otlight. I knew that he was a pioneer. If you know anything about him, he was a pioneer in botany, and so in time-lapse photography. He actually invented time-lapse photography to show like the progression of plant growth and bud growth and things like that. And so the Otlight was originally invented as a daylight spectrum lamp for growing plants indoors. And he had a show on NBC for a while on gardening, and he was well known in the fields of plant life and gardening. So anyway, I wanted to share that again because I thought that, I mean, that's super cool. I knew that he had that background, but I didn't connect him with the Otlight until much later, that when it started to be sold for crafters. And I'm not sure when it started being marketed to crafters. If it was at that time, this would have been in the late 90s. And I was, like I said, I wasn't aware of it being a thing for crafters. So that's a little tidbit for you. The cicadas are extremely loud right now outside, so I hope that it's not drowning me out. I don't know if my camera's picking that up, but I hope not. I also worked on Stargazer by Mirabilia. I put a few more stitches into her, and so here she is. There's where she was the last time. Try to put that in. And I really enjoy her once I get rolling. It takes me a minute to get going on her and get into the groove, but once I am, I really enjoy stitching on her. It's usually like long rows of color and a lot of grays and gray blues and things like that. So yeah, she's fun. Especially now that my other Mira is finished, I feel like I can really concentrate on her and not, you know, worry about my other Mira. I worked a teensy bit on my Long Dog sampler, Death by Cross Stitch. I did a D. I got in a D. Yay me, huh? That's awesome. That's all I did though. But I did get the D put in. And here is the whole thing, what I have so far. So, love, love, love that one. Love the fabric. That's a 20, not the fabric. I love the floss. It's Silks for You PR124, and it's a 25 count Lugana in antique white, I believe. So, and I worked on Historical Women. It says Historical Women seldom make history. And I finished up Joan of Arc. Well, not quite. She doesn't have her cheeks in yet, but I finished the rest of her. There's where she was last time. And then I started Marie Antoinette. Now Marie Antoinette, so I came to her, and when I purchased the pattern, I thought, well, I'm gonna swap her out for somebody else because I don't know that she's really a heroic woman, like someone to hold up. Like, to me, she doesn't go with the likes of Harriet Tubman and Susan B. Anthony and people like that. But, so I actually spent a lot of time reading up on her more because I really didn't know that much or remember that much about her. So I learned a lot, but I really, you know, I realized that she really, I don't think necessarily is a great role model, but she was not a well-behaved woman. And this just says well-behaved women seldom make history. She was not well-behaved. She did not, you know, just go along with the social norms, the societal norms of her time for women. She kind of just did her own thing, and she made history. So she does fit into that. So that's good. And she's been fun to stitch because of the white wig and the foofy blue on her. So that's fun. And I don't remember who comes after her in the thing. This is Susan B. Anthony down here. Maybe I can go work on her next. And then speaking of the Gentle Needle, speaking of Monticello Stitches, I worked on her Gentle Needle some more. Do I have this upside down? Of course I do. That's the completed thing. And then here is what I worked on. What I put in, you can see compared to last time, I worked on these flowers over here. Yeah, just those for one day. Now this one continues to challenge me because a lot of the things in the pattern are not symmetrical. And like this urn down here is not, this pattern is not symmetrical. And it drives me a little crazy. And I love Jean Workman, who is the designer. I adore her. And that is why I buy her patterns and stitch them. Because I don't normally stitch this type. I've never stitched anything like this before. So I don't know if that is something that's norm in samplers. I know in reproduction samplers it would be normal. So perhaps that's the look of the vintagey look sampler. So that's something that I'm wrestling with, that I have a hard time if they're not completely symmetrical. So that's been interesting. So I'm trying to kind of like redo that as I stitch and go to make so that I can look at it okay. This one, I'm pulling this back out again because this drove me nuts when I was finishing it up. This banner, as charted, is not symmetrical and even on either side. Now, I would think that if the top and the bottom are the same, you know, like apart, that it would only work to make it the same. The inverted triangle should be the same stitches in and the same stitches out. And as it's charted, it's actually like not, like so not. Like this comes out way further and this didn't, and I don't know if that was an oversight or on purpose, but even as it was, I took out some of the extra stitches and I tried to stitch it similar, but I still had to, like this is 2 stitches down when it's in and this is only 1, but the stitches still count up the same and down the same. And so that was driving me nuts because I could not figure out how that's possible. Now, I am not mathematically inclined whatsoever, so that's probably why, but I was even saying to my husband, like, how does this even work? Like, how can you not, if it's counted like this and it's the same on both sides, it would have to even out. It would have to be even. It would have to be the same. And I couldn't make it work. So nobody else is going to notice when that's up in my house, but I'm always going to know that, and it's going to be like, but that's okay, whatever. Okay, so if the cicadas aren't going too nuts right now, and this is doable, hearable, audible, I have a little bit of haul to show, and I have a little bit of rambling to ramble. So the first thing I want to show for haul are these. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Pardon. Real life, people, real life. So this is what I want to show. I picked it up backwards. These drawers fall out like super easy. They are not in there well. They're not snug. This is a craft bin that is put out by the company Art Bin. They have lots of different storage solutions, and I've been eyeing this for a long time, and on their stock photos they show DMC bobbins floss in there. Well, that was my plan. I was going to consolidate. As you can see back here, I have my floss in these separate, you know, storage containers or whatever, and I thought, well, I'll get something like that and then I can put it back here on my desk and it'll be great. Well, the bobbins do not fit in there. And then when I looked at the picture closer, I'll put a picture up here. I don't know if you can tell in this picture, but they're turned back, like they're slanted. And I kind of was like, I was still having to force them in there. So I didn't want to return it. I'd already unwrapped everything. And so I decided to just use it for my fancy flosses because I don't have a good storage system for those yet. I don't even have that many, but I did start sticking them in there, just like the skein, the whole skein for now. So I do have a bead container, so I didn't really need to put beads in there, and that's my plan for that. My last 1, 2, 3 stitch order, I went ahead and ordered this for the first time, the Just Cross Stitch Halloween Edition 2021, which I'm super excited about. I've never gotten that before, and I've always wanted to. It's always so tempting. There are so many cute designs in here. I'm not going to do a flip through because there are lots of pros on YouTube that do it really, really well. So do check them out if you're looking for a flip through. But my favorite one that I definitely want to do is the Nightmare Before Coffee, because I love Nightmare Before Christmas and gotta have my coffee or I can't deal. I can't function. So that is my plan to do that. I actually saw that Beth on the Desert Stitcher had shown that a couple of weeks ago, and that was one of the reasons that I decided to go ahead and add that to my collection. I picked up this lavender and lace chart, if you could see that. It's called Oh Christmas Tree. Let me put it in front of my face so it will focus. It actually might be better for me to put a picture in up here, but so this one I have wanted. It's my favorite lavender and lace design, and it's out of print now, and as far as I know. And so I had it on my wish list for a long time, and I saw it on Stash Unload, and I commented on it that I wanted it, and I waited like 2 days and I didn't get a comment back. So I went back on the album and it wasn't there anymore. All the other pictures were there, but this picture was missing. So I tagged the person and I'm like, oh, did you get my, and she said she didn't know anything about that one and it was never part of it. Did I dream that? That is so weird. I have no idea what happened. So I went on Etsy, I found it on Etsy, ordered it on Etsy, and then a couple of days later I was flipping through Stash Unload. Not a good idea. And I found it and I was like, oh, this person has it. It was a different person. So I told them I would get it, and then after I committed to it I realized that I had it coming from Etsy. Oops. So I have 2 of these, so I will be using one for a giveaway coming up, and I would love to have someone to stitch it along with, because I think it's just adorable and lovely, and I love Christmas trees. And then speaking of Christmas, I got this Joan Elliott blue ornaments, Christmas blue ornaments, and I plan to stitch these as separate ornaments. My Christmas tree is usually done up in like teals and silvers to go with my home decor, so that will be perfect for my tree because those are my colors. Okay, so I have a couple people to mention real quickly. If you don't want to stay for this, that's fine. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. And if you do want to stay, thank you. I'm going to ramble for like literally 5 minutes because then I've got to go. So I want to mention a couple people, and the first one is Denise at Black Stitch Studio. Hopefully you all know her and love her like I do. I've been watching her for years. I remember when she got started, and it's been fun to watch her progression through the years. And I need to go back and look. I want to say she's been on Flosstube for maybe 2 years, at least in cross stitch. I'm not positive though, but I do remember her starting, and that she was unique, and that, you know, she's really flourished and bloomed on Flosstube, and that's been really awesome. She stitches beautiful things. She likes Joan Elliott, which if you've watched me before, you know she's one of my favorite designers. And she just, she's always full of info and news, and she shouted me out in her last video, which I was like, whoa, and she said really sweet things about me. So thank you, Denise. That really meant the world to me coming from you. And so please, everyone, go check her out if you're not already. She's going through a challenging season right now within her family, and so please go over and give her some love and hear what she has to say, and I'm sure she would appreciate your support and your prayers and your good thoughts. Kaylee Cross Stitch mentioned me recently. Kaylee, we love you. Kaylee is a fresh face on Flosstube. She's a music teacher, which is near and dear to my heart. And she mentioned my daughter. She was all like excited about my daughter Panda Stitcher here on Flosstube, and that just made our day, so our week. So thank you, Kaylee, for that. That was amazing, and she was really excited to have somebody mention her and watch her. So that is awesome. Please go and see Kaylee. She's a new Flosstuber, and she has got some good projects to show, and she's got her own theme song, which how many of us have that? And so yeah, go check her out. She is definitely unique on Flosstube too. All of these people that I mentioned, you know, we're all unique. We're all special in some way. No two people are ever exactly the same, but there are certain people on Flosstube that really stand out to me as their own, you know, their channel is very unique, and those are the people that I enjoy watching and I enjoy, you know, sharing here. And then Debbie from Creatively Yours also kindly mentioned that she's watching me, which I've been watching Debbie too for a long time, and Debbie is awesome. She's in the Netherlands and she stitches all the things. She has so many different WIPs. You never know what you're gonna get, what she's gonna pull out. So much variety. I love seeing all of the different, you know, she stitches all types of different things. She does model stitching. She just does like really great stuff. And she also has lots of great info about the stitching, what's going on in the stitching world. So she's definitely one to watch, and I'm sure most of you know her. I've had a great time connecting with people on Instagram recently. This is the first time that I've really felt part of community, which is amazing. Always before it was kind of like me just sitting here and then hoping to like meet some other stitchers, but it's always felt kind of from the sidelines, even on Instagram. And now I'm starting to feel like there's actual interaction and community both here on my videos and on Instagram. And I want to say hi to Sasha, because Sasha reached out to me on Instagram and we've been messaging me. Sasha has a really interesting life, and so I love hearing all about that and seeing the beautiful stitching, and I've really appreciated that new friend. And then I have become friends with the Stitch Man himself, Darcy Cameron. Hopefully you guys know this guy. I'm sure you do. Stitch Man Darcy. Speaking of unique, there is no one that comes close to him in his own thing. So yeah, like it's been cool because, okay, so Darcy, if you're watching, cover your ears, because I just gotta be really honest. When Darcy burst on the scene, which I think was last year, like maybe last fall, everybody on Flosstube was talking about him, it seemed. And I went and checked him out. It was one of his early videos when he was wearing the Santa hat. And in that moment, that one moment that I clicked on it, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I was like, this guy, like, what is this? This isn't Flosstube. But then I've started watching him like over the last few months, and I finally get it. I'm a little slow usually in, you know, getting things, but I get it now, and I laughed so hard. I went back and binge watched all of his videos, and his stitching is amazing. He has so many great projects to show, full coverage pieces, and he's working on the Modern Folk Embroidery Fruits of Plenty Sal, and sending me all these pictures that just like tempting me so bad, because I have it kitted up and I want to start it so bad, but I'm trying not to yet. But I'm gonna blame him for that when that comes out. So yeah, that's been fun, and like he's introduced me to all these other people, because like everybody knows Darcy. So thank you, Darcy, for your friendship, and I do appreciate that very much, and it's super fun. Thank you for bringing me into your fold. So I think that's about it. A couple of new Flosstubers that I want to mention is Penguin Cross Stitch. Penguin Cross Stitch is in the UK, I believe, and she has some really cute things. She's a new Flosstuber, and so please go check her out. She's lovely. There is also a cross-stitching penguin who's Ashley, and I'm getting to know her a little bit, and she's a new Flosstuber as well, and she's got some great projects going on too, stitching some of the same things that I am, and so she's fun. Go see her. And I want to mention Daybreak Stitchery, because Daybreak Stitchery, I think it's Nithya, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She is wonderful, because not only is she stitching beautiful things, she stitches mostly like geometric and mandalas and like monotone, two-tone type things. She's got lots of WIPs to show, but she also is so informative on like history and current events. She's a teacher, so she reads a lot, and I so appreciate the topics that she talks about, and I have learned so much from watching her videos. I always come away knowing so much more than when I started the video, and I appreciate that so much. I think they are important topics for us all to be aware of and to be discussing, and so I'm glad that she brings those into her videos. So I highly encourage you to check out Daybreak Stitchery. And then I also want to mention Piney Wood Stitcher. She commented on one of my recent videos, and she's a brand new Flosstuber, and I know she would appreciate if you would go over and watch her videos. She just had a cute little Christmas finish, and so let's boost her up and give her some love. So guys, that's it. So I will see you next time, and happy stitching. Bye.